What was the weirdest thing the weird kid did at school? 1. A kid I grew up with started wearing homemade chainmail to school our freshman year of high school. Every day. For all 4 years. He was always pretty odd, but he was nice enough. Plus we had a few classes together through middle school and we had connected over a shared love of a few video games, so I felt comfortable asking him why he started wearing it all of a sudden. He proceeded to explain the defensive benefits of chainmail versus both sharp and blunt instruments of harm. For like 5 solid minutes. Daggers, pikes, hammers. Even how curved blades like katana and falchions would struggle against it. I basically just shrugged and told him, makes sense. And we both went to our classes. I don't know what I expected, but I guess it wasn't the basic defensive benefits that armor offers. 2. A wild kid activated a fire hose and started blasting everyone that came his way. Students, teachers, didn't matter. 3. Weird kid in elementary was a self-proclaimed alien. Once, while waiting for the bus, she told me, "On my planet we eat people like you," and proceeded to bite me. We later became friends in high school and she used to give me massages during lunch break in the quad. Just realized now she was likely tenderizing me. 4. In 4th grade, one kid got so angry at something, maybe the work we were doing, he gripped his pencil as hard as he could, started yelling moaning, and stuck the sharp end of the pencil square into his forehead. 5. One girl used to run gallop around the playground on her own, pretending she was a horse. This is at too old an age for the rest of us to be doing this. Think, 14, 15. She got a medicine degree and is doing her surgical training at the moment. I bumped into her in a hospital after over a decade. All I could think of to say was, "Do you still love horses?" She laughed and said she had her own horse now. Figures. Back in the 1980s there was one kid in my school was hardcore into the punk scene. Had a bright blue, 6 high, razor thin, stand-up straight mohawk. The principal gave him detention for being a distraction, etc., and his parting words that day were, "And tomorrow, no more blue mohawk." The next day the kid came in with the same mohawk. Only bright pink. 2. Last day of senior year we started a food fight at lunch. And by food fight, I mean we drew angry faces on an orange and an apple, then faced them toward each other, made a big circle around them, and we all reacted like we were watching a fight. All the security guards ran to break up the fight, only to make their way to the middle of the circle to find 2 pieces of fruit sitting on the ground. 3. Senior year, my school banned jackets. A friend was cold, wore his jacket to lunch and the VP told him to take it off. Friend pulls out the student handbook and asked where it said he couldn't wear it. VP flips for a while and ends up showing him nothing. Or anything. The administration seems disruptive. Clause. Friend rolls his eyes but takes off his coat. The next day friend comes in with the same tweed sport coat the VP wore every day. 4. Just after the Virginia Tech shooting, when I was in high school the administration banned backpacks, messenger bags. Purses were okay though. One guy shows up to school with a purse. They suspended him for 2 days. The next day most of the guys showed up with purses carrying all of their things. They lifted the backpack ban. 5. After 9/11 my school made a rule where we had to wear our school IDs. They went overboard quick handing out detention to anyone who didn't wear one. One kid had his ID blown up and put on a shirt. On the back it said, "Yes, I'm wearing my fucking ID." He got detention for not wearing it with the shirt. 6. I was at a private school that had rules about the length of boys' hair. One guy in particular always ignored the rule and the administration would tell him to get a haircut every so often, but he never did. Eventually when his hair got about down to his shoulders, the principal pulled him aside, and told him his hair was twice the allowed length and by next week it needed to be shortened by half. Monday rolls around and he comes in with half his head shaved, and the other side as long as ever. We were impressed by literal interpretation of the principal's request, but it still ended up with him getting a suspension for a week and he had to shave the other side before he could come back.